Good morning, everybody. This video, I am just going to go through Schoology and the resources that you have available to you for week 2. This is a great place for you to reference to make sure that you have everything that you need. As I go through this video, I'm going to be explaining some details about each assignment. That way, if you're working on something, you are more than welcome to come back to this video and you can figure out what you need to do. Maybe it gives you a starting point for questions for office hours or an email that you need to send. So in Schoology, when you go into English, you'll see these 3 things in your feed. So the first is the Extended Flex Learning folder that we've been putting our work in. Books and audiobooks to read and listen to for free. I'm still keeping this in here. Some of you are looking for books and things that you can listen to and stories so that you can keep your reading going. And then here is the video that explains how Flipgrid works because some of you still haven't accessed that tool. So I'm just going to go into the Extended Flex Learning folder and talk about what you have in the folder. So first are office hours. So you need to contact me sometime during this week. Okay, I need to know that you are engaged in the work that we're doing. I need to know if there's something that I can do to help you. And so you have some different ways of doing that starting this week. The first is coming and seeing me during my office hours. Office hours are from 10 to noon. And it's in that same Google Meet space that we had the week before we had spring break. So just come on in, you can ask your questions. If you're just coming to do the check-in to meet this requirement, we'll have just a little tiny conversation and all will be right with the world. If going to the office hours doesn't work, then what you can do is, as part of this office hours check-in assignment, you can come in again, check in during office hours, or if you're unable to check in via Google Meet, you may check in by sending me an email using appropriate email etiquette and answer the following question. What is the most challenging part of distance learning for you? So this way I at least know that you're checking in and you're looking at the things that I'm putting into Schoology. Now here's something I really need to stress with you, ladies and gentlemen. I've gotten a few emails from students from their personal email accounts, and you've given me nothing to go on. There's nothing in the subject line to tell me who it is. You just give me a sentence within the email asking a question. Please make sure that you are connecting with me and your other teachers using your school Osseo Apps account. That just makes it easier for us to know who we are talking to. Okay, so again, office hours check-in, you can come into my Google Meet or you can email. Back into the Extended Flex Learning folder. Week 1, I'm leaving the week 1 work in here just so that you can go back and you can look at it and you can reference anything that you might need to. But we're going to focus now on week 2, April 13th to April 17th. So you'll see here the first thing I did was I put in the planning checklist. And so if you click on this link, it opens up an image that tells you exactly what you should be doing for each day. So this is the week's overview. Everything that you need to do this work is in Schoology right now. Okay? So you don't have to worry about, can you get this done all today? If you don't get it done towards the end of the week, everything that you need is available in Schoology right now. So going back into the folder, here is the daily agenda, and this is just a video of me going through the daily agenda. Just like I did our first week, I will put in the daily agenda. This will be the longest video, and this video will actually be right here above the planning checklist when you log into Schoology. So the Greek mythology, if you go into the Greek mythology folder, you'll see it looks very similar to what we did the first week. It's Greek mythology story choice 2 is the assignment. I'm going to come right back to this. The nature myth story files, it's the same file that you looked at the first week, but your 3 stories to focus on are Prometheus, Pandora, and Narcissus and Echo. So when you open up the story choice, you'll see it's a Google Doc. Okay, it is a just like we had before, and it should be working right now. You are going to read the instructions on the Google Doc, completing the work. Monday, choose your nature myth to read. Complete section 1 on Tuesday, section 2 on Wednesday, section 3 on Thursday, and then you can submit to Schoology. So the assignment looks like this. It's the same document that we had the last time, except I changed it to Prometheus, Pandora, Narcissus, and Echo. Okay, so it's the same document and it's the same work. So you're going to choose your story, highlight it in yellow, and then complete each of these 3 sections. So that's the Greek mythology work that you're doing. Again, same assignment that you did the last time, 3 new stories. Back into week 2 of Schoology, the greatest of all time writing is actually now a slideshow and then a Flipgrid assignment. So if you go into the slideshow, you'll see that this is the assignment. You are going to use your research about your greatest of all time person to create a presentation. You're going to use this Google Slides presentation, which I'll show you in just a minute. You can change the font and we'll talk about that too. So for all images, you need to include the entire URL of the image, clicking on the new tab to get an accurate URL and pasting the URL in a text box near that image. And then each slide has a different piece on it. So what does that look like? It looks like this. So on your first slide, you're going to have your person's name and then your name and hour. Biographical information is on the second slide. Typing information here. Include pictures of your person and their families, including the URL of each image by the image. Slide 3, accomplishments. That's the accomplishment section, and this information is the same. Rivals, competitors, and accomplishments. And so again, you have this right here. And then the last slide, this is where you get to put in your own viewpoint, and you need to answer these 3 questions. Why did you pick this person as the greatest of all time? So why did you pick the person? Why do you think they are the greatest of all time? And why are they better than their rivals? So what we're doing here is we're doing the same thing as we did in our argument essay. Okay, you're giving your research, you're giving your thoughts. Now we have the counterpoint. Okay, that's the rival. Okay, so some people might believe so-and-so is better than. However, and then you get to go in and say, you know what, if you were right, I'd agree with you. And so this is your opinion piece. And then the last slide is a works cited. And so your job is to take the web addresses from your pre-writing and just highlight and copy and paste them into this document so that when you're done, you will have a presentation that you can then share through Flipgrid. And going back into Schoology, that's the last piece for this work. After creating your Google slideshow, you will present your greatest of all time research, and you have 2 options. You can present your information as a TED Talk type video. That means you might not have any visuals. We see your face, we hear your voice as you're talking about your person. You can have your presentation maybe open on another screen or something like that to help you, or you can have some notes so that you're sharing the same information. Or you can use a tool like Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using to present to you my slide. Okay, you can use a tool like Screencast-O-Matic or Screencastify to record your narrating of your Google slideshow. So you don't have to show your face, but we will hear your voice and you'll present your slide like I do with my agenda slides. These videos are going to be moderated. That means they're not seen by other students until they're graded. Okay, once they're graded, they will be made public to your class so that comments and discussion can be added. Now, I will have it set that these videos cannot be downloaded, and we need to make sure that you are being good digital citizens as you're watching people's videos on Flipgrid. Okay, so this is due Monday, April 20th at 8 a.m. So when we go back into the main folder, the last thing that I want to show you is this writing an email folder. And this has been the one thing, it was in the work that we did for the optional learning. It was in the folder for last week when we were in school, and it's back again because we're going to be using this throughout our distance learning work. So when you open this assignment, open the following link to read an article about a proper email. Read the anatomy of a good email section. If you choose the email option for your check-in, I expect you to include all the parts of this section. So I'm looking for those pieces to make sure that it is understandable, because when I see you face to face, when we have that conversation in the Google Meet, some of those pieces are already taken care of. An email is a little less personal. So we need to make sure we know who's talking to whom, what is it that you need, what is your purpose, okay? So that's why with the email, you need to have a few extra steps than if you are just coming in and checking into my office hours. So back into our week 2 folder. Again, this video, once it is done, will be right above the week 2 planning checklist. Over the course of the week, each agenda video will go in line here, and everything else that you need is in each of these folders in this video. If you have questions, you can come back into my office hours, you can send an email. And then the last thing I just want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, is some of you are still sending me messages in Schoology. I don't see messages in Schoology as quickly as I will in email. Okay, I go into Schoology frequently, but not as frequently as I'm checking my email. So please, 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 if you have something that you need to get a hold of me relatively quickly, please send an email. Please stop into my office hours. I'm requesting that you do not submit something to Schoology or a notification, message me in Schoology if there's something that you need right away. Okay. Video's 13 minutes. I am going to end here. Come and see me in my office hours or send me an email if you have any questions.